We don't care about your gender. We don't care about your sexual preference. In fact, we'd rather not know, to be frank with you. We want to live in a country that treats everybody exactly the same, provided they in return respect us, our values, our laws, and our way of life.
Nigel Farage's arrival at the Reform UK rally in Birmingham wasn't merely another political speech. It was a bold statement, a declaration that couldn't be ignored. As he drove in on a JCB, yes, the massive, unmistakable yellow machine, the atmosphere instantly shifted. The crowd tensed, a wave of anticipation rippling through the air. Farage wasn't just making an entrance. He was delivering a message loud and clear. Britain's systems are broken, and it's time to tear them down and rebuild. But this wasn't just about fixing potholes. The JCB, an icon of power, efficiency, and practicality, was more than just machinery. It was a symbol, a visual metaphor for the kind of change Farage believes is necessary to fix the country's failing infrastructure, both physical and political.
The UK is the unhappiest it's ever been as a country, according to a new report. So what's dragging the UK down? Stagnant wages, rising bills and poor public services have crushed public morale. We've got NHS delays, housing struggles and regular strikes are also said to be key contributions to the UK misery. Mental health problems are climbing, especially for people under 30. They're not climbing, they're...
While Labour and the Tories squabble endlessly, Farage is rallying his supporters with a promise that cuts through the noise. Reform is the only way forward. This isn't about empty words or hollow promises. It's about real, tangible action. Farage's daring decision to drive the JCB straight into the heart of the spotlight wasn't just a stunt. It was a bold declaration that Britain has had enough of the political games. It was a call to arms, a moment that set the stage for a campaign driven by a single unwavering goal to rebuild Britain from the ground up.
Net migration in 2023 alone is what net migration, not gross, net migration is 1 million people after all of those promises. And I believe the Conservative Party should never, ever be forgiven for that level of betrayal. But it could be that we're even luckier with our Labour opponents. Do you remember the big promises? Vote for us. Energy bills will be reduced by £300 a year. And yet from next week, energy bills would have increased by £300, not reduced, but increased by £300 since Labour came to power.
Farage doesn't hold back when it comes to laying into both Labour and the Tories. He's relentless, cutting straight to the heart of their failures, particularly under Keir Starmer's leadership. Starmer's Labour, according to Farage, has completely lost touch with the very people they claim to represent. Labour's once promised solution to cut energy bills, a broken fantasy, with bills skyrocketing instead of shrinking. But the disillusionment doesn't stop there. Labour's stance on immigration, it's a ticking time bomb. Farage argues that their refusal to address the public's growing frustrations with uncontrolled immigration proves one thing: they're not listening. Farage paints it as clear as day. Both parties have failed, and it's time for a real change.
They told us they were on the side of business. Yet, and this is incredible, this is truly incredible, not one of the 25 men and women that serve in this Labour cabinet, not one of them has ever founded a private company. Not one of them has ever worked in business. And the business secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, lied openly by saying he was a solicitor when he never ever qualified. What hope is there for 5.5 million men and women out there running their own businesses with this mob in charge? What hope is there?
It's the same tired story with the Tories. Empty promises on Brexit, immigration, and taxes have left a trail of betrayal. Farage doesn't hold back, saying the Tories have failed to deliver on the very issues they promised to resolve. For him, it's clear both major parties are more concerned with political maneuvering than tackling the real, pressing problems facing the country. And that's why Reform UK is gaining ground, striking a chord with voters who are fed up with the status quo and desperate for change.
Everyone that comes illegally will be deported, full stop, end of story.
Reform UK is experiencing an explosive surge in membership. What started with just 25,000 has skyrocketed to a staggering 220,000 in no time. Farage's return to the political scene has been the spark behind this wildfire growth, as frustrated voters flock to a new alternative. The disillusionment with Keir Starmer's Labour is palpable. Many feel it has lost touch with the real concerns of everyday people. Meanwhile, the Tories' broken promises on Brexit, immigration, and taxes have left even their most loyal supporters questioning their allegiance. Farage's leadership, with his no-nonsense approach to confronting these issues head-on, has become a magnet for those desperate for change. Reform UK is no longer just a fringe movement, it's a force to be reckoned with. As the party's momentum grows, it's clear. With Farage at the helm, Reform UK is quickly emerging as a serious challenger to the traditional two-party system. The winds of change are blowing, and they're carrying Reform UK to the forefront.
You want to know what Farage and Reform are doing on their rare visits to Parliament? They're voting against our Employment Rights Bill. They talk the language of workers' rights online and on the doorstep, but they voted against banning fire and rehire. They voted against scrapping exploitative zero-hour contracts. They voted against sick leave and maternity pay. And what about the NHS? They want to charge people to use our NHS. They claim to be the party of patriotism, but they're fawning over Putin. No, they are not the answer for working people in Britain. And they are not the answer for Scotland.
Farage isn't just fixated on the big issues, he's laser focused on tackling the small yet critical ones too. Take potholes, for example. He doesn't just see them as an inconvenience. For him, they're a symbol of Britain's broader failures. Local governments, he argues, have completely dropped the ball, squandering taxpayer money on inflated contracts while ignoring the basics, like maintaining the very roads people rely on. Farage's bold vision, cutting through the red tape and delivering practical, cost-effective solutions that actually work. It's about getting back to the issues that matter to everyday people, repairing roads, ensuring local services run smoothly, and restoring a sense of efficiency to government. For Farage, it's not about grand promises that vanish into bureaucratic limbo. It's about delivering tangible results. A government that cuts through the noise and focuses on improving the daily lives of its citizens. It's a vision rooted in common sense, where decisions are made with the public's needs in mind, not the endless political games.
Well, right at the minute, I feel like a lucky general. Because we have a Conservative Party. Well, we used to have a Conservative Party who for 14 years gave us the highest tax burden that had been seen since the war, did not, despite the promise in 2019 of giving us the Brexit that we voted for, never actually believed in it, and whilst we left, they didn't give us what we really wanted. A Conservative Party who told us in the 2010 general election they would reduce net migration to tens of thousands a year.
Behind Reform UK's meteoric rise, there's a new wave of talent injecting fresh energy and vision into the party. Figures like David Bull, Zia, and Nick Candy are emerging as key players, each bringing a unique set of skills that's propelling the party forward. David Bull's sharp leadership and quick wit have made him an undeniable standout, commanding attention wherever he goes. Zia, with his keen business acumen and tech-savvy approach is ensuring Reform UK stays ahead in a digital age where every move counts. Then there's Nick Candy, whose exceptional fundraising ability is giving Reform UK the financial muscle it needs to take on the political giants. But what really sets these leaders apart isn't just their skills, it's their unwavering dedication and razor-sharp professionalism. They're not just talking about change, they're actively building the foundation to make it happen.
What do we get? We got the greatest betrayal of a massive democratic majority that we've ever seen in our lifetimes.
They might be politicians, but their commitment to dismantling the old system is anything but ordinary. What's even more remarkable, however, is how Reform UK is striking a chord with younger voters. The party isn't just talking at them, it's speaking their language, tapping into their frustrations, and offering them a real sense of hope for a future that's radically different from what they've grown up with. Farage isn't just leading, he's pushing Reform UK into a new era, one that's inclusive and truly democratic. One of his boldest moves? Giving up the shares he once held in the party, a powerful statement that the power, once held by a few, is now being returned to the people. But it doesn't stop there. Farage also championed a new constitution, which was approved at the Birmingham conference, ensuring that party decisions are now made collectively, not dictated by a single individual. This isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's a declaration that Reform UK is no longer just a party led by one man. It's the people-driven, a movement where members have a say in the direction they take. Farage isn't just empowering them, he's handing over the reins to the very people who will shape the future of the movement. This democratization of power doesn't just make the party more inclusive, it strengthens its foundation, ensuring it's more transparent, accountable, and prepared for the kind of change the country needs.
However tough, however grim, however difficult, however depressing it may look, this party is full of optimism. This party is full of hope. This party is full of people who believe we can turn this around and get our country back on track with the right leadership, with the right politics, and we're determined to do it.
Farage's message is striking a deep chord with a wide, diverse audience, cutting across age, profession, and background. From young professionals desperate for change to older voters who feel abandoned, his vision speaks to those fed up with the relentless political divide. Unlike Labour, which is increasingly seen as a party of division, Reform UK stands for something fundamentally different, a more inclusive, meritocratic society. Farage's focus is simple but powerful, equal treatment for everyone, regardless of age, religion, or background. It's a direct contrast to Labour's growing tendency to cater to select groups, leaving too many people feeling overlooked and excluded. For Farage, opportunity should be based on merit, not identity. He's championing a future where everyone, no matter their circumstances, has the same shot at success. But this isn't just about policy, it's about unity, about bridging the gaps that have torn the country apart. In today's polarized political climate, that sense of inclusion is exactly what people are craving. It's this spirit of togetherness that's drawing more and more to Reform UK, creating a movement that is increasingly impossible to ignore.
That if we don't arrest the level of economic and societal decline that we are rapidly going into, that within a few years, this country won't even resemble anything that we've grown up with, that we love, and we're happy to share with others.
Farage's return to politics wasn't about personal gain or ambition. It was about saving the UK from what he believes is its imminent collapse. After stepping back for years, Farage could no longer sit idly by as he watched the country spiral under Keir Starmer's leadership. Farage sees Starmer's Labour as steering Britain down a dangerous path with misguided policies on everything from immigration to the economy. The growing frustration with Labour's direction, paired with his firm conviction that bold action is needed, is what pulled Farage back into the political fray. He didn't return to secure a career or a position. He returned because he believes the stakes are too high to ignore. For him, this is a mission to restore Britain, not just a job to fill. His passion, his determination, and his unrelenting sense of urgency are rooted in the deep conviction that if drastic change isn't made now, the UK could face irreversible decline.
Rupert Law's put this out on social media. On the MP pay rise, Angela Rayner says, administratively, it is more of a nightmare to give it back. I disagree. I donate my entire net MP salary to local charities every month, and the process is very simple. It's not a nightmare at all. It's very rewarding. And even if the process was simple, she wouldn't give it back. None of them would give it back. They are all very, very greedy individuals.
The UK is teetering on the edge of economic and societal decline, and Farage firmly believes that both Labour and the Conservative parties share the blame. Under their leadership, living standards have plummeted, taxes have soared, and the country is struggling to keep pace. Farage argues that under Keir Starmer, Labour has only made things worse. Instead of tackling the real issues at hand, Labour has failed to offer tangible solutions while the country wrestles with skyrocketing bills, stagnant wages, and a widening gap between the rich and the rest. Instead of addressing the problems that matter to ordinary people, Labour's focus has become increasingly misplaced, pushing policies that do little to fix the pressing issues. For Farage, this is nothing short of a betrayal of the British public, and it's one of the main reasons Reform UK is gaining unprecedented traction. People are fed up with the same old party politics, and they're craving a new direction. Farage's message is simple and clear. Only by electing leaders who truly understand the struggles of the people can the UK ever hope to get back on track.
So let's make this clear. I didn't come out of retirement last year with a few weeks to go before the general election. And by the way, I didn't need to. Life was going pretty well. Good job at GB News, who I think are a great broadcaster. I turned 60. First two grandkids were born. I was going back and forth to America because I've got some friends over there. One of them's quite influential. I didn't come back into this because I needed a career. I don't need a career. I don't need a job. I came back into this because I genuinely believe
Farage's plan for the future is both clear and bold. He's determined to challenge both Labour and the Tories, parties he believes have failed the UK, and put the country back on the right track. One of his cornerstone promises, leaving the European Court of Human Rights. A move he argues will return control over Britain's laws and borders. Farage also makes a strong vow to deport illegal immigrants, ensuring that only those who follow the legal process can stay. For him, restoring the EU rule of law isn't just a priority, it's essential to rebuilding the trust that's been shattered between the government and the people. His message is simple, yet powerful, and reform is the only way to fix the UK's broken systems. With Reform UK's growing momentum, Farage is confident that the party can win the next general election and lead the country toward a more secure, prosperous future. This is a plan grounded in real action and an unwavering commitment to putting his Britain first. If you believe in real change, don't forget to like or subscribe and check out more videos from us here.